What is good, team? Welcome back to the channel. We are in the last 24 hours till the Poland Pro Show, which is very exciting, but super excited to be here with my coach and good friend Dean, who's taken me through our last session. So last opportunity to kind of get a little bit of a pump, see how the physique looks, and then hopefully play with some food after here.
Hopefully. We'll see.
It's been a couple of days of being hungry to make weight, but we made weight. Life is good.
The good news is it was actually worth it, because we weren't sure what height you were going to be.
I mean, yeah, it was
good. I'm glad you were actually short.
Which consisted of like 2 days of very little food, which is fine. Like, I think you kind of deal with the suffering at some point, and it kind of is what it is, right? Like,
it's all right when there's light at the end of the tunnel, I think.
Yeah. So I guess for today, like even just running through this session, like what's the main rationale or objective from your perspective, obviously as a coach, right? You're taking me through it.
We're a little bit different this time because we've gone lower days coming into the show. Whereas previously we've gone a little bit of a high day coming in off after weigh-in.
Yeah.
And then this show's also 2 days out weigh-in.
Yes.
So it's a little bit different there. So
yeah.
We knew we wanted to bring you up, like fullness coming into the show, so we've done that early on in the week.
Yeah.
Got you to sort of like the heaviest you've been now in quite some time, the fullest you've been in quite some time. Pull down, drive out a little bit of fluid, and now we've got today as an opportunity to either top you back up.
Yeah.
And this session's just to drive a little bit of sensitivity. You know, we're not talking massive things. The one thing that's super important, I think people mess up in this phase, is they train too hard at the back end.
Yeah.
And muscle damage inhibits glycogen restoration. So
Absolutely.
like, you're actually inhibiting your capacity to get full again.
Yeah.
Maybe get muscle inflammation, but. So just a little bit of a touch up. I get to see what you look like with a pump, which is technically going to mimic on stage.
Yeah.
See if you're full enough, and then we'll go from there.
And it's actually a good point, like especially for people watching the channel too, because we get heaps of people asking questions about training and coaching and stuff. Like even going to the gym yesterday, I had just some steps to do and some posing and stuff. And there was guys competing today, tomorrow that were like battering themselves in the gym a day out from show. Yeah. And it's like, it's probably not the best way to go about it if you want to get on stage looking and feeling your best.
Yeah, no, I don't understand it. I mean, I think that's the bodybuilding mentality though, right? Like,
it is.
Like they
Those are the people
like
I know
doing everything the hardest.
Yeah.
You know? But they also almost always end up like a bit washed out and stressed on stage. So.
Yeah. Which is, it's a funny notion though, and I think even like for so many people that think that like competing as a high level bodybuilder and stuff, like you need to do all this crazy shit, when in reality, the smarter approach is sometimes resting, it's eating, it's diet breaking, it's deloading into the show.
Finding love in it.
Yeah.
You know, I said to Tom just this morning, he's like, oh man, I've done a lot of steps. You arrived in America.
Yeah.
Done a lot of steps, dude. It's more than what you probably wanted me to. And I'm like, if you're having fun, you'll look better.
Do it, exactly.
You know, we can account for the steps. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
So
it's good. Like, and I think it's good for people to get like a peek behind the curtain too, because they're always like, I suppose even like seeing you as a coach, right? Like you're very well looked upon in the coaching space, and people want to know like what's happening behind the curtain, and they're asking me, and I'm like, it's really nothing that most people aren't talking about. It's nothing crazy, but it's just done really, really well. And there's an intelligent thought process that goes into like, hey, why are we doing this?
And I think like the testament to like the guys that obviously I work with is there's buy-in on the strategy now. So if I say do less is better, typically it's accepted.
And they look better and feel better.
And they look better and feel better. Like, because if I hadn't maybe done this yet for quite a while, maybe it might be like, nah, I don't know if you know what you're talking about, you know? But, but it's about finding a happy balance between doing enough. You know, we've said this for weeks now. Do enough, Carl.
Yeah.
Don't do the most, just do enough.
And that's the bodybuilder mindset too. I think a lot of people want to do the most, and they're like, oh, every single rep up until show day, every single thing I can do to make a difference. It's like, the work should have been done. This is the time to relax, get the body fresh, and get on stage and look your best. Rather than beating yourself to the stage day, which most people do, unfortunately.
So no failure sets today.
So we started the vlog a little bit late. We've already done a couple of exercises just because we're in a Polish gym. People don't speak English, and I think like filming's a bit frowned upon. So
frowned upon. We're gonna ask for forgiveness later on.
We're gonna see how we go. We've done chest press, lat pull down, 2 sets, 10 to 15 reps, 3 to 4 RR. Cable fly, cedar bro, 2 sets, same kind of reps, RR range here. But basically like push, pull, delt, arms, done.
Yeah, just move through some work. Super easy.
Easy peasy. All right, we'll see you guys for flies.
My back needs more sets. You have to get up off your haunch. You see, you shouldn't have bent down.
That's probably a little bit light. Alrighty, so on to second and final set. Fly, cedar row. Nothing crazy, and I've mentioned this heaps of times as well. This is the same workout we did for the last show too. Just like upper body pumpy stuff. Keeping the same exercises in rotation that I've been doing this whole time, so there's no like, exactly as Dean said, not burying ourselves in the ground. There's not too much muscle damage or fatigue inhibiting our ability to peak properly and come to the stage fresh. So again, just a nice opportunity to get a pump, get some blood moving, and hopefully get some food in after here. So last set on these, and then we'll move on to some arms and delts. That's my 2 sets done there. So I think we'll probably move on to some delts and arms now. I spotted a sick little hammer strength ladder raiser machine, so we'll probably use that. And then just probably a preacher curl and tricep push down of some description. Again, same stuff that we've been doing this entire contest prep. So nothing out of the ordinary, which is a good thing from muscle damage, fatigue standpoint too. How's that weight?
Yeah. You got to be careful because it dips off at the top and then it goes.
Yeah. You almost have to pause at the top slightly. Beautiful. Super tidy reps, bro. Nice.
There it is. So just pause, like you take that pause as if it's going to finish. Yeah, a little bit less. Yeah, there,
there
perfect. Perfect. Yeah. Good, man.
that's nice. Do you find a big difference? I suppose this is a good point to bring up. With delts specifically, I get heaps of people asking about delt training and growing delts. Do you have a preference, or do you find it very different utilizing dumbbells compared to machines? Like where you're really fixed in place and you've got lots of stability?
I think if you struggle to get delts, you're probably best suited to doing stuff that has like more of a controlled strength curve, like a cable, where you can position yourself to find the feeling. I think once you've got them though, they're kind of like any other body part, like a back. Like you see guys with big backs, they can just throw weights and their backs fill up with blood. And like I'm the opposite. Like back, I have to do super controlled. One arm, really like focused. For stuff like this, I can do this however I want, and my delts blow up. Because they just don't know how to not work.
Which is funny, because I think I had a few people, like, obviously I post like all my vlogs on there, right? People see how I train. And they're like, oh, you're doing delts, like, someone said, oh, you're doing delts like 3 or 4 days a week. Isn't that like overtraining? And I was like, well, no, not really. If it's an area of priority, more volume, more frequency. And if you're doing more volume, you need to do them more frequently. But I think as well, in terms of just delts specifically, they're a muscle group that you can hammer quite frequently with a lot of volume. So I guess in your experience, even seeing that, is there like an upper limit that's like too much that you've seen, or sort of having that sweet spot? No,
to whatever you can't recover from. It's the same as every other muscle group. Just difference. I think, like, if you look at delts, like, even structurally, they're very short. You can't put them under a lot of stretch.
Correct.
And they're not therefore going to get a lot of damage. Like, whereas you compare that to hamstrings, pecs, biceps, they all elongate a lot and they all get real fucking sore. So like your capacity to hammer those because of the loading strategies of those exercises is really difficult, whereas delts, maximally recoverable. You know, so like I would do them, if they're a priority, at least 3 times a week. And I think you're better off like putting them on the back end of exercises and just doing them exceptionally well, and then leaving them alone and coming back. And if that doesn't do anything, then I would flip it and do like retarded volume in one session. And see if you can get them sore. Not the sore as a proxy for growth, but...
Well, because that's even, someone brought it up the other day. I posted my hamstring, delt, and arm session. And they're like, oh, you're doing like hams and delts together? It's like a weird combo. But it was like, the combination of exercises or muscle groups you train in a session, it doesn't fucking matter, so long as it fits within the constraints of your goals and your volume allocations. And exactly as you brought up, if like delts were a point you're trying to bring up, hit some hamstrings and then hit delts, or hit delts at the start of your hamstring session, because there's going to be no carryover and fatigue from that movement or whatever you're training there.
Like if you're trying to do a ton of leg volume in one day and you also want to try and get extra volume into your hamstrings, those sessions will get massive. So then you take the hamstrings, you put them somewhere else. But how many exercises can you do for hamstrings?
Not that
one
many.
hinge, one leg curl, maybe 2 leg curls. So like it's 30 minutes of work.
And as you alluded to, they don't need much because the damage incurred is so high.
So then you tuck it on with something that like you can get, and you also don't need to warm up a lot with shoulders if you're doing laterals. Pressing a bit different. So you can always add them at the end. Like it's just, I think it's just efficient.
And I guess like even last point to bring up, you mentioned about like they're quite shortened so they don't like get a lot of damage when you train delts, but even different exercise variations. So for example, like a lengthened bias cable raise where you're in a bit more of a stretch and there's a bit more lengthened challenge. Would you advise people to do variety of movement patterns with more lengthened mid, shortened position stuff?
Yeah, I think there's nothing to harm. And like that's me honestly just like hypothesizing a guess as to why they don't get that sore. And it's possibly what would they call it? They'd call it hindsight bias. In that the hindsight of after a leg session when you do hamstrings and quads, they're always like the sorest, and also maybe for me.
Of course.
But like it seems to be pretty common across the board. But I think full range of all muscle groups, either in a singular exercise if you can, or across multiple exercises.
So across the week you can just have different variations.
You know, and maybe different repetition ranges. You know, maybe you're really good at engaging, like because delts are also a very difficult one to consistently add load to, without changing the quality. So they respond very well to adding more work. Or some form of intensification, which is more work anyway.
Exactly, you're just adding more density to that session.
So I think they suit that well, and you'll find your limit. You might start with delts 2 sessions a week, 6 sets. You might move it to 8 to 10 to 12, and then you're like, oh, at 10 I can't get recovered by the next session. Oh, okay, so now you got 20 sets in a week. Why don't you try and do 5 sets over 4 sessions? For example. And then it's like, oh, we'll actually recover from all of those. Okay, now maybe you can do 6, and now you can actually do 24 sets a week.
And you should be gauging your ability to recover on your ability to progress.
So
if you're going like weeks without actually making rep or load progressions, you're probably like, it might be a bit too much volume.
Absolutely, it doesn't have to just necessarily be like soreness is, because soreness is like an indicator of reduced recovery, but
Yeah.
It's not the be all and end all because you can warm up through saunas.
Yes,
So, yeah.
and it's not a bad thing. Like if you are a little bit sore, it's not like, oh my God, you shouldn't train, you're going to die.
No.
It's like you did some work, sure, there's going to be saunas.
Yeah. And it's an inability to progress probably for multiple weeks, like 2 or more.
Yes.
Not 1.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, okay. All right, well, that's good.
Maybe if you don't progress for 1, that's when you add more work.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that could be your proxy. You could be like, did I progress or not? Maybe I need to add more. If I add more, did it get worse? Okay, there's my answer. Go
exactly.
back.
Start again.
Yeah.
Refresh.
Good, you guys heard it first. That's how you get big delts. I'm still trying. All right, so we're on to bicep, tricep to finish off. Again, nothing crazy, out of the ordinary. Same exercises we've been doing this entire program. Preacher curl with tricep pushdowns, 2 sets, 10 to 15 reps. I might go a little bit heavier on this. It's actually not very heavy.
Good, man. Good, man.
Ooh. That counts as 3 hour, right?
Good, dude. Hi, I'm Kyle, and I don't know what a 3 hour is. He's got to get the last juicy sets for this.
I know. Well, I can't cheat now because I got my coach here. You can't fuck around. Have to impress him, right?
Like, this is how he really trains. All right, go. Hips. Yes. Feel that at the hip flex? Yeah, good. Quarter turn. Ribs down, blow out, good. Good there. Quarter turn. Good. Chest up. Good. Chest up, don't extend backwards. Just think big chest, like air in your chest. Yeah, good. Quarter turn. Good. Quarter turn. Front double. Good. And relax, side chest. Good. Just hit that again. Good. Try and pull here just a little bit, yeah. But keep the arms straight. So when you do, just pull back just a little bit more. Yeah, like that. Yeah, good. And then now rotate just to the hips. There, not too much. Just a little, yeah, there, good. Yeah. Good, now hit it again and try and finish in that position. So really, really tuck, when you're gonna hit this one, tuck this into your armpit. Yeah, don't go like this. Just like literally try and tuck it in, just so you feel your pec only. Good, build pressure, yeah, good. Shoulders down a little bit, good. Good. And just a little bit more rotation. There, good. All right, redouble. Beautiful. Good. And relax. Good, blow it harder. Good. A little bit more rotation. Good there. Leg out. Good. 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 You nail this pose. Good. Chest up a little bit. Yeah, good. Do this one, then this, and then what's your shot after that? Yeah. But you go like this, and then what do you normally do? Then you kind of just go do it. Do your normal one again? I forget.
So from that.
Yeah. Then leg out. Yeah. Good. Oh, you do go straight there. Okay, you didn't do that this time. I was going to say, yeah. Dude, you look like you've been fucking stung by a bee.
Wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that looks good.
You're full as a house, dude.
I don't think I need any more food.
Yeah. I think I'll like just do like one small, just a little bit of carb and breakfast, just to finish off some recovery, and then we'll just go. And I think I'll just like push fluid up a little bit today, just to flush a little bit more. And
yeah,
like, dude, you're full as a house, man. Like, this is why it's fun to get to shows. There's 3D's only in person.
Yeah, this is crazy.
This lighting's dead compared to where I'm standing.
I'm happy. So you guys saw the workout. We're back at the Airbnb now, and the master of the core, Coach Dean McKillop, is actually making me a bowl of core, which I'm very excited about. So I'm not going to give away the secrets because it is a secret recipe, and I think a million people are going to ask me questions about it. So I'll keep you guessing, but I'll show you guys how it looks after. We're doing it on the stove, not his preferred method because there's no microwave here, but you'll see how it looks. Very excited about this one. Actually, first meal for the day, and it's like 11:15. So workout's done, time to eat. All right, so we're tucking in the first meal today, cream of rice, which is our post-workout meal. First bit of carbs going in, and then that's probably going to be it for the rest of the day. Probably just going to be protein, fats, and some vegetables. So it's certainly an honor to have a cream of rice made by Dean, the king of the core, self-proclaimed anyway. But that's how it looks. So I'll tuck in, and I think that wraps up today's, session vlog. We've got probably another session to do like Monday, Tuesday, and that's pretty much all our training done. So tomorrow will be show day, and I'll see how much we can get done. Might be a separate vlog, or we might add it to this vlog. But anyway, we'll see how we go tomorrow. If I don't see you guys, I'll see you on the other side. If not, I'll see you tomorrow at the show. But we're going to have some fun. Peace.